Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the December 5th, 2024 City Council meeting. And if you would please call the roll. Cindy.
Yes. Mayor Case,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Nakai,
Here.
Councilmember Baldwin,
Here.
Councilmember Gear,
Here.
Councilmember Harvey,
Here.
Councilmember Jones,
Here.
and Councilmember Smith.
Present.
Thank you.
If everyone would please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks, everyone. So I'm going to just do a little moving this morning to accommodate some schedules. So I'm going to take item 4 next, which is the additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda. Cindy, I have one if you don't have anything else.
I have nothing else.
Okay, we are to be considerate of the Lieutenant Colonel that's here from Fort Carson. We're going to move item 9, 10B up to item 3C. And we're also going to add the madrigals this evening as item A under item 3. So with that takes me to 3A, which is welcoming the madrigals to our meeting this evening. And they're going to give us one of their wonderful performances. And they are led by Jeff Hemmingson. So welcome, everyone. We're honored to have you.
Noel, sisters in this hall, see all the next day. That's why we're Noel, rejoice, Noel, shepherds in the hills, among the silent sheep and doves of Noel, even the sun, Noel, Noel. Folk on earth think God is sorrowing. Today the folk will raise it up and cast it down the ground. Noel, 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 to Bethlehem, to see the wonders made by the name of this is Christ the Lord, so this is all I believe. This night is come, no one should be saved. Folk on earth think God is sorrowing. Today the folk are raised up in cast.
Next, we're going to sing Carol of the Bells.
Bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away, Christmas is here, bring One, two, three, or one, two, cheer, come, everybody feel me here. Oh, it's a sound, downtown, it's not. And while people sing songs of the cheer, because it's you. Maybe they don't know that's the first thing they know. Christmas is here, bringing cheer to you. Singing songs of the cheer, Christmas is here. Without end, their joyful tongue to.
If we have time for one more, we'd like to sing We Wish You a Merry Christmas.
Please.
Okay. Would you like us to turn and face this way for the last one?
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Now bring us something.
Now bring us something.
Now bring us something.
Bring us something.
Now bring us something. Bring some out here.
We wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. For we all like figgy pudding. For we all like figgy pudding. For we all like figgy pudding. So bring some out here. The tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
And we won't go until we got some. We won't go until we got some.
And we won't go until we got some, so bring some out here. The tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year, a 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 Happy New Year.
Okay, fancy gentleman in the green hat, there you go. All right, 1, 2. Mayor, would you like to join them?
Take a picture with the bag. Promise we don't bite.
We think. Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
What a great way to start the meeting. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you all tomorrow night. Okay, where am I now? All right, we're at item 3B. Introductions and presentation of the resolution reestablishing the partnership between the City of Woodland Park and the 4th Engineers Battalion from Fort Carson. And I'm going to introduce Mr. David Buttery to give us a little bit of background on that relationship. And then we do have the Lieutenant Colonel here to talk to us as well. David.
Mayor Case, Military Liaison Councilmember Harvey, City Council, Aaron, and staff. I'm thrilled that you've decided to re-energize the partnership between the 4th Engineer Battalion and the community of Woodland Park. It has special meaning to me because I was in the 4th Engineer Battalion when that partnership was established. I was not responsible for the partnership, but I've had a wonderful opportunity to keep that partnership going for 33 years. In the late 80s and early 90s, the Department of the Army determined that battalion-sized units, 500, 600 soldiers, should have relationships with small communities. At that time, then Lieutenant Colonel Kerry Pierce, the battalion commander, worked very closely with Clark Becker, Ken Matthews, Don Blim, and Prentice Porter to establish that partnership. And in February of 1992, that partnership was codified by resolution. And in May of that year, on a very cold May day, I was the operations officer for the 4th Engineers, and we raised the engineer flag in Lions Park. When you go past Lions Park, you'll notice there is a flag that looks just like that one up there with the castle in it. That represents the partnership with the 4th Engineers. Congressman Heffley was there, as well as the community of Woodland Park and many soldiers from the 4th Engineers, including me. The partnership grew over years with community attending many of the Fort Carson 4th Engineer Battalion functions, and the battalion also being part of many of the functions here in Woodland Park. The battalion helped tear down some of the old school next to the Cultural Center. The battalion participated in the Mayor's Cup for many, many years, and they participated in many other activities, both formal and informal. The community, in turn, did things such as spouse pamper days, where we picked up a bunch of the wives, brought them up here for manicures and pedicures and hair stuff and champagne and flowers and all that kind of stuff, provided childcare for them. And it was just a wonderful partnership. It flourished over the years. And during the height on the War on Terror, when a 4th Engineer Battalion soldier gave the ultimate sacrifice, there was a member of the Woodland Park community at their memorial service at Fort Carson. I probably attended a dozen of those, and those were heart-wrenching moments, but it solidified the relationship that we had with this community and the soldiers that we want to support. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you tonight the commander of the 4th Engineer Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Douglas Morton. Doug?
Welcome, sir. It's good to
Ma-
see you again.
It's great to see you too, Madam Mayor and council members. This is a true honor to be here. Thank you for inviting me and also for the opportunity to reinvigorate the partnership with Woodland Park. So the 4th Engineer Battalion has a 140-year history, starting with the Civil War, and we've been a part of every conflict that this nation has had since then, up till the global war on terror. Right now, we have over 700 service members in our organization. It makes up 6 different engineer companies. And by next year, we will grow another company and we will be over 900 strong at that point, of people from all over the country, aging from range ages from 18 years old up until, I'm guessing I'm probably one of the oldest, so we'll just say 43. And for people who have service, just starting out in their first duty position, coming from anywhere from New Mexico or up in Rhode Island and coming to Colorado for the very first time at the age of 18, all the way to people who have over 20 years of service to our great nation here. And of the 6 companies we have a headquarters company, which holds our battalion staff. And we have a forward support company that does a lot of our maintenance and provides us fuel, delivers our ammo and our munitions and explosives and things like that. And where it starts getting really interesting is with our engineer companies. We have one construction company. We actually have the only vertical construction platoon in all of Fort Carson. And so we do a lot of the work around troop construction around Fort Carson. And then we also have 3 combat engineer companies. And what they're responsible for is essentially clearing paths through minefields, so that way maneuver elements can go on to their objectives. We also set up obstacles to basically prevent the enemy from going where they want to go and making them go where we really want them to go. And then also survivability, which means that we're building bunkers, we're building fighting positions to protect our soldiers. So the great thing about being an engineer is that no matter what we do, we support the American service member in combat. And that always brings us great pride. And so why I'm so excited about this partnership is because it gets back to my personal why I'm still in the military, why I'm serving now going on 20 years. I'll be 20 years this June, is because when I joined the military, my reasons were a little bit different. The patriotism was there, of course, because 9/11 had happened. But a lot of it was I wanted to figure out if I was as tough as I thought I was inside. I wanted to prove myself. But during my first deployment to Afghanistan, that changed to being all about the team that I was on. A platoon that I was with of 26 service members doing route clearance in Afghanistan for 15 months together, protecting American service members. My why became being a part of the greatest team that I've ever been a part of, and serving with people from so many different backgrounds, and the sense of pride that I had of training with and fighting alongside those men, changed my life forever. And that's why I still serve. And so now my why is making sure that every person on my team, everyone that I serve with, has that same opportunity to be filled with that same sense of pride that I get to enjoy every single day that I hear, when we do when we hear the national anthem at a football game, or when we hear the Pledge of Allegiance said. That fills me with a sense of pride knowing that I contribute to that. And that's what I want for everyone. So what better opportunity than to integrate, to partner with a community that is so rich and vibrant as this, to understand, so that way our service members can come and see this is something that they help protect and defend with everything that they do when they wake up in the morning to do PT and whenever they're maintaining vehicles and training so hard. So thank you very much. And Madam Mayor, if I'm allowed to approach the bench, I would,
Please.
yeah. I would like to present you with one of our battalion challenge coins. On the front, it's got our logo, our emblem, and also it has our motto, which is willing and able. Because whenever we are asked to do our mission, it's difficult, but we have to end up doing. Going into minefields, who wants to do that, right? Engineers do. So we are always willing and able, and that is our guiding principle. So if you would allow me.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Wow. Maybe I shouldn't pass it your way.
Pass it down, yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate you. Thank you, David.
Madam Mayor, we are going to read the resolution.
We are. Yes,
Hey,
ma'am. We're
Doug.
going to bring resolution 9.
Mayor Morton, stick around just a sec. We are gonna. vote
Sorry,
on
I
the
was
resolution
getting
now.
caught up.
Uh,
That takes us to item 3C, which is approval of a resolution number 928, series 2024 between the city of Woodland Park and the 4th Engineers Battalion, reestablishing our civil-military partnership. Cindy, do you have a copy of that with you? I don't have one here to read. Mhm. Sorry about that. You can see I'm as prepared as ever. All right, I'd like to read this into the record. City of Woodland Park Resolution Number 928, Series 2024, a resolution establishing a partnership between Woodland Park and the 4th Engineer Battalion, the vanguard of the 4th Division of the United States Army. Whereas Woodland Park, Colorado, a community dedicated to fostering growth, inclusivity, and well-being of all its citizens, recognizes the importance of strengthening bonds with key institutions that contribute to the common good. And whereas the 4th Engineer Battalion, a respected unit of our armed forces, serves with honor and distinction in defending the freedoms, values, and security of our nation. And whereas it is recognized that partnerships between civilian communities and military organizations contribute significantly to mutual respect, understanding, and the sharing of resources, which can enhance both the local community and the military personnel who serve our country. And whereas a formal partnership between Woodland Park and the 4th Engineer Battalion would provide opportunities to collaborate on various initiatives and projects that benefit both the residents of Woodland Park and the service members stationed at or associated with the 4th Engineer Battalion. And whereas through this partnership, both parties will work together to promote mutual support, which is enhance the quality of life for military personnel and their families while providing resources, services, and opportunities for integration into the civilian community. Number 2 is engage in community development, partner on projects that advance the infrastructure, safety, and economic prosperity of Woodland Park, leveraging the strengths and expertise, of both the city and the military unit. Number 3, support education and workforce development. Establish programs aimed at increasing access to education, job training, and career opportunities for military personnel, veterans, and their families within Woodland Park. And number 4, foster collaboration and cultural exchange. Encourage shared community building events, educational exchanges, and volunteerism to deepen mutual understanding between military and civilian populations. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City of Woodland Park as follows. Section 1, partnership establishment. The City Council hereby establishes a formal partnership with the 4th Engineer Battalion, 4th Division, United States Army, recognizing the mutual benefits of collaboration on initiatives that promote the well-being of both military personnel and the citizens of Woodland Park. Section 2, partnership objectives. The objectives of this partnership are to support programs and initiatives related to veterans, services, educational opportunities, job training, community outreach, and other collaborative efforts that strengthen both military and civilian communities. Section 3, coordination and oversight. The City Council will designate a liaison officer to coordinate efforts between the city and the military unit, ensuring that both parties work together effectively and efficiently to implement partnership goals and initiatives. Section 4, funding and resources. The partnership will be supported by grants, donations, or joint funding efforts. The City Council may allocate resources to ensure the success of the partnership in alignment with city priorities and available budgets. And finally, Section 5, duration of the partnership. This partnership will remain in effect unless terminated by mutual agreement of both the Woodland Park City Council and the 4th Engineer Battalion, or upon a determination that the partnership no longer serves the best interest of both parties. The foregoing resolution is hereby adopted by the City Council of Woodland Park, Colorado on this 5th day of December, 2024.
And Madam Mayor, if I may, this will be signed by the mayor, and we will get you a clean copy of it as soon as she signs. I don't want to give you a copy that's not been signed yet. And from what I understand, it will be displayed in the display case at the engineer headquarters. And one of our first interactions with the battalion, and I'm very excited about this, is that they will march as a unit in our Christmas parade this weekend. Yeah. It won't be any of the sexy equipment, but it will be some Humvees I understand are gonna be appropriately lighted and we'll have some soldiers up here on Saturday night. And from what I understand, it'll be cold, but it won't be snowing. So again, thank you so much for helping us reestablish this relationship and safe drive down Ute Pass.
And I'd also like to acknowledge Carol and thank her for her efforts and David's efforts in bringing us all together and having the conversation to start this relationship again. Thank you, sir, for being here.
Thank you, man.
Mhm. Good night. Okay, council, any questions? I'm just looking for a motion to approve the resolution. Carol, you make the motion?
I'm sorry. Yes, I will make the motion to adopt the resolution as read into the record.
I'll second.
Thank you. Cindy, would you take the roll? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Gear,
Yes.
Harvey,
Hooah!
Jones,
Yes.
Smith.
It's my honor. Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Thank you, council. All right, we're at the consent calendar. Item 5, we have A, B, and C. One is the approval of the October statement of expenditures and authorize the mayor to sign warrants in payment thereof. Item B is approval of a contract between the city of Woodland Park and JVA for the design of the second Gold Hill tank in the amount of $153,200. And item C is approval of the November 21st, 2024 city council meeting minutes. Do we need to take anything off the consent calendar, or is everyone sufficiently up to speed on all this? Okay, I'll just look for a motion to approve the consent calendar.
I make a motion to approve the consent calendar as is.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Smith. Steve. That takes us to item 6. Oh, no, it doesn't. Cindy, would you
Sure.
like to take the vote?
I shall. Thank you.
Been reading
Aye.
along.
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes.
Gear,
Yes.
Harvey,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Case.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, council.
All right. Item 6 is public comment on items not on the agenda. Do we have anyone signed up, Cindy? Do you know?
We do not.
All right. Anyone in the audience wishing to address the council? All right. That's a first in a long time. Item 7 is unfinished business, and we have none. Item 8 is ordinances on initial posting, and we have none. And item 9, we have 2 public hearings. The first is approval of ordinance number 1485, series 2024, an ordinance appropriating sums of money to the various funds for the city of Woodland Park, Colorado for the 2025 budget year for the general fund, Fund 100. Aaron?
Thank you. Tonight we have ordinance number 1485 and 1486, which is the 2 budget ordinances for general fund and all of our other funds. Let's see, this is for the 2025 budget year. And I'll get down to the bottom here. So for the general fund in the budget, we have projected budgeted revenue of $15,453,559. And we have general operating expenditures of $14,035,315 with $704,488 for debt service expenditures, $576,075 for capital outlay expenditures, and $711,581 for transfers out. So for our total general fund expenditures and transfers, we have $16,027,459. And as presented in the budget, that will leave a fund balance reserve of 19.81%. So that is it for ordinance number 1485. Any questions on that one?
Council, any questions for Aaron? All right.
You want me to do both or go one at a time?
Go ahead. We'll take item A and B together, approval of ordinance 1486, series 24, an ordinance appropriating funds, easy for me to say. Ordinance appropriating sums of money to the various funds except the general fund. Okay, go ahead, Aaron.
All right, so ordinance number 1486 is for all of our other funds. So I will just go through the expenditure allocation for each fund. So for the grants fund, we have a total, oh, sorry, this is getting out of the way here. All right. So for the grants fund, we have a total available revenues and other sources of $493,648. And we have the exact same amount of expenditures for the grant fund of $493,648. For the Downtown Development Authority, we have budgeted revenues of $928,419. We have operating expenditures of $196,882. Debt service expenditures of $370,019, which brings a total fund expenditures to $566,901. For the Culture and Rec Fund, we have budgeted revenues of $1,549,981. And we have operating expenditures of $1,549,981. So that's exactly the same. For lodging tax fund, we have total available sources of $321,770. And we have a transfer to the general fund of $321,770. For the Conservation Trust Fund, we have budgeted revenues of $75,300. We have transfer out to the general fund and Park and Rec Fund of $75,000. For the Street Capital Improvement Fund, we have total available sources of $3,155,100. And we have capital expenditures of $2,270,000 and transfers out of $555,486, which brings the total expenditures and transfers out to $2,825,486. For the Stormwater Fund, we have budgeted revenues of $185,000. We have total capital outlay expenditures of $2,400, transfers out of $165,675, which brings our total stormwater management fund expenditures to $168,075. For our water utility fund, we have total available revenue and other sources of $7,551,662. Of that, we have current operating expenditures of $2,476,662, and then capital outlay expenditures of $5,075,000, which brings our total expenditures to $7,551,662. And finally, the wastewater fund. We have total available budget revenues and other sources to $2,628,566. We have current operating expenditures budgeted at $1,707,350. Capital outlay expenditures of $470,000 and debt service expenditures of $451,216, which brings our total wastewater utility expenditures to $2,628,566.
Thank you, Erin. Any
For
questions?
your patience on that one.
You should have read the resolution.
Two questions, Madam Mayor,
Yes.
for City Manager. The first one is, are the ARPA funds now exhausted?
Yes, this will be the last of the ARPA
Okay.
funds.
And then the second question, or really a clarification, because we've had a citizen make the query. The money that will be obligated for the basic infrastructure improvements for Meadowood Park, that is coming from the general fund, correct?
Correct.
And that original master plan, although it recommended nearly $30 million in improvements, is really a wish list. What we are addressing first are those things that must be done, and we're using money on hand that we had from the general fund, correct?
Yes, and none of that money has been appropriated at this time. We are earmarking it, and staff will bring back recommendation and discussion for an ordinance to be brought back as a supplemental at the
Thank
beginning of next year.
Thanks.
Excuse me, because we need to get bids and real numbers, right?
Exactly.
For all the different projects, yeah. And could you remind me how many members of the community participated in the online survey, the in-person open houses and things?
I believe it was over 1,400.
Is that right?
Correct? Yeah, I'm
Okay,
looking at
right.
Cindy and I think she's nodding yes.
I don't have that exact number, but I was thinking it was around 1,600.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
So it was pretty significant engagement.
Any other questions, council? George, you look like you're working on one.
Yeah, I was, Aaron, I just wanted to kind of harken back to this year for street improvement, capital expenditures. We've dialed down that number quite a bit from
Correct.
2024. Do you remember what that number was? I think it was 8 million or something like.
It was a little over 8 million, yes.
Okay,
I do think with the reimbursements from CDOT, it will be closer to 7, but in the
Okay.
budget, we did not have that number available, so we put 8 million.
well, for this year, for next year,
For next year.
3 million.
Yeah, 2.8
So
million.
significantly
capital.
down. Yeah, okay.
Yes, and we, part of that is that we had 2 years of backlog for this
Right,
year to be able to do all of the engineering design. And so for next year, we do have designs in work right now, but we will probably push some of those projects to 26 just so that we can get that fund balance back up a little bit.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
And
Anything-
take care of lots of potholes, right?
That's the plan.
Any other questions, council? All right, then I'm going to open the public hearing portion of this, the public comment portion of this public hearing. Cindy, do we have anyone online? I don't see anyone.
No, we do not.
Okay. And anyone in the audience wishing to address the council with regards to this ordinance? Okay, I will close the public comment portion of this public hearing and look to the council for either further questions or a motion.
I will move to approve ordinance number 1485, series 2024, appropriating sums of money to the various funds for the city of Woodland Park, Colorado for the 2025 budget year for the general fund. And again, thank the staff and our city manager for taking us through, I think, a very thoughtful, methodical approach to the budget. We'd have no questions tonight because you did such a good job. So thank you.
Thank you. I
I'll
appreciate that.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Terry.
Mhm.
And I'll echo Carol's comments to staff. It's a big job.
It seems like it was easier this time than it's been in past years. Yes?
It's Kimberly.
Thank you. Kimberly.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Great job. All right, we have a motion and a second. Cindy?
Yes, Baldwin,
Yes,
Gear,
Yes.
Harvey,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Case,
Yes.
Nakai.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries 7-0.
And for 9B, I will open the public hearing. And if there's no comment from council, I'll open the public hearing. Public comment portion of this public hearing for item 9B ordinance 1486. I don't see anyone online. And anyone in the audience wishing to address the council? Okay, seeing no one, I will close the public comment portion of the public hearing and look for a motion or further discussion, council.
So I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 1486, series 2024, an ordinance appropriating sums of money to the various funds except the general fund 100A.
I'll second.
Thank you, council. Any further questions? Cindy?
Gear,
Yes.
Harvey,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Case,
Yes.
Nakai,
Yes.
Baldwin.
yes.
Thank you. Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, council. Now we are taking up new business, item 10A, approval of resolution 927, series 2024, a resolution levying general property taxes for the year of 2024 to help defray the cost of government for the city of Woodland Park, Colorado for the 2025 budget year. Aaron.
Thank you. One second while I pull up. All right. Oh, that is small up there. Let's see if we can get that a little bigger. Okay. There we go. Okay, so normally the city of Woodland Park has a 15.75 mils as our general property tax mill levy. This year at our work session that we had at our last meeting, we discussed doing a temporary credit for the 2024 year of 2 mills, which would bring the mill levy rate to 13.75. Based on that information, our total assessed valuation for 2024 is $165,848,816. And so if we use the 13.75 mills, that will result in a $2,280,421.22 property tax for the city, with a one-time credit of 2 mills, which will be a return of $331,697.63 to the property owners.
Thank you.
Any
Thank you,
questions?
Aaron. Council, any discussion, any questions for staff?
Just one, I think, and just so the public's aware, that is what we budgeted for as
Yes,
well, right? Okay.
correct.
Just want to make sure that everybody understands
It
that.
matches exactly.
Yeah.
All right, seeing no questions. Does anyone wish to comment on this to the council? All right. I will look for a motion, council.
Well, I do have one question before I make that motion. Could you again explain temporary credit? So people understand the duration of a temporary credit and why it's not a permanent reduction.
Absolutely. So we are allowed every year, let me, it's a little smaller now. All right, so CRS section 39-1-115-111.5 as amended by Senate Bill 23-108 last year authorized the local government to provide a temporary tax relief in the form of a temporary property tax credit or temporary mill levy rate reduction. And what that essentially means is that each year the council has the authority to do a one-time temporary reduction, and then it will automatically reset to our standard mill levy.
Thank you. I know in the past, there's been a question about, is it forever and ever? And a temporary credit is exactly that. If we were to reduce it permanently, there would not be.
Then we'd have to go back to the voters if we wanted
Voters,
to raise it
correct.
back up.
And that's due to Tabor, correct?
Correct.
Yep.
Aaron, sorry. Madam
No,
Chair.
please, go
Aaron,
ahead.
do you know what the county's doing? Have you?
I have not gotten the official number from them.
Okay.
yet.
And one last, just for the publics, can you tell them how much this will be, the 2 mills for their average reduction?
Oh. Yes. Okay, so for a 2 mil reduction, the average property tax owner will receive a $63.03 credit.
Anything else, council? All right, I would look for a motion, please.
Well, since I opened my mouth, I'll say it. I would like to move to approve, resolution number 927, series 2024, resolution levying general property taxes for the year of 2024 to help defray the cost of the government for the city of Woodland Park, Colorado for the 2025 budget year.
I'll second.
Thank you, council. Anything else? Cindy?
Harvey,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Case,
Yes.
Nakai,
Yes.
Baldwin,
Yes.
Gear.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries 7-0.
Thanks, Cindy. Thank you, council. That winds up the budget for next year. All right, that takes us to reports, the mayor's report. Council, traditionally, if we have made it through the budget, we're finished with the budget and the schedule allows, we cancel the second meeting in December, and I'm gonna let Aaron address this because he has more information than I do.
Yes, after speaking with Suzanne, we do believe we can cancel the meeting if you all would like to. We just need your approval to do that.
You have my vote.
Oh, we'll be working.
Do you want consensus or would you like a vote?
I think consensus is sufficient.
Okay. Anyone opposed to that All right. You
Thank
have that.
Council.
Um,
We
Okay.
will still have that January 2nd meeting.
so behave yourselves. Community events, December 5th, 2024 to January 2nd, 2025. Friday, December 6th from 3:30 PM to 6 PM, which is tomorrow, at Memorial Park, join Parks and Rec for Winter Day in the Park and the city tree lighting, featuring hot chocolate, candy cane lane, pictures with Santa, and more. Enjoy our third annual Elf Scramble, followed by the Madrigals as they perform this evening. They'll be with us tomorrow night as well, and ending with the tree lighting. Be sure to dress warm and bring your holiday cheer. Next, we have Saturday, December 7th from 6 PM to 8:30 PM is the Lights Above the Clouds Parade. The beloved tradition that happens each year has a new name, but the same great time. Enjoy hot chocolate again while visiting several businesses that are open during the festivities. The parade finishes with a fireworks show. Then the party moves to the UPass Cultural Center for the Crazy Hat Contest and the award ceremony. There will be music, cookies, hot chocolate, and the bar is open for adult beverages. Wednesday, December 11th from 6 PM to 8 PM is open mic night at the UPass Cultural Center. Show off your talents in music, theater, poetry, comedy, and so much more. It's open to the public and free to join. Come to share your talent or to be spectator of what Woodland Park has to offer. The UPCC bar will be open. And I have something that I just want to, if you'll bear with me a minute.
I was gonna ask a question while you're doing that, Kelly.
Sure.
The tree lighting, what exact time are we gonna do the lighting?
We will do that exactly at 6 o'clock PM.
Okay.
As long as the Madrigals are all done singing,
Okay, so 6 or
6:02.
off.
And
Okay.
assuming the sun doesn't decide to stay up later.
No, yeah.
Typically, it's right at 6 o'clock though.
Yeah, thank you.
There is an event on Sunday, the 8th, at the Nazarene Church, which is at 67 and Evergreen Heights Drive. The Woodland Park Wind Symphony Christmas Concert is occurring, and it is at the Nazarene Church. I believe it's from 6 to 8 PM. And it's a free event. Tuesday, December 31st at the UPass Cultural Center, starting at 7 PM, will be the last disco of 2024. Woo, you gotta be there. Indulge in the evening filled with excitement, laughter, and joy as we bid farewell to the current year and welcome the new one. Tickets are $55 and includes delicious food served all night long with dessert, prize, or activity every hour, 2 drink tickets, and a champagne toast. Over 21 only. Tickets can be purchased at the city's website under the UPCC tab. I bet the UPCC bar will be open. For heaven's sake. Hope to see you there. And then I have one more thing. Is the 30th Madrigal Dinner. This is a tradition they've done for 30 years. Friday and Saturday, December 13th and 14th, it's at 6 PM at the Woodland Park High School Commons. There is a website and there's also a QR code to buy tickets. I'll leave this up here on the dais for any of you wanting to do that. It's wonderful. That's all I have, council, other than I would like to wish everyone in the audience and here on the dais a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, and the happiest of New Year's. It's been great working with you and I look forward to a wonderful year next year. Thank you, and staff as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.
So I have nothing but to reiterate what Kelly said with wishing everybody a happy holiday, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and a happy New Year. And it's been a joy working with everybody up here as well.
No, there's a part of me that wants to just send heartfelt message to one of our community members who's lost her son in an accident this week. A lot of you probably know her, but anyway, we've had a lot of things happen this week that have been pretty traumatizing. I wanted to let everybody know the new laws that are going into effect in January. So you can't hold your cell phone while you're driving. You'll be fined for holding and using your phone while driving. Texting has already been illegal. But now you can't hold it at all. Emergencies and some other situations are exempted. All eggs sold in Colorado must be cage-free starting January 1st. This passed into 2020 and it's been stair-stepped to this finality here. Went into effect in 2 stages. Starting in 2023, egg producers were required to give hens more space if they were confined in cages. So the law requires Colorado egg producers with more than 3,000 hens to provide a cage-free environment. The rules for children in car seats are changing. Starting January 1, children under age 2 who are less than 40 pounds must be restrained in rear-facing car seats. This is more strict than the current rules. When the changes go into effect, children who are under 2 must weigh over 40 pounds to be in a forward-facing seat. Otherwise, all children who are 2 to 4 years old and at least 20 pounds can be in a forward-facing seat. This whole thing confused me when I read it. The changes also mandate that children must be at least 4 years old and at least 40 pounds to sit in booster seats. The booster seat must be in the back if available. Children can begin using seat belts without a booster at age 9. New rules require, I think I mentioned this one before, if you have a concealed carry gun permit, you have to put your gun has to be secured and out of sight in your car. Told you that. Minimum wage is increasing from it's going from $14.42 to $14.81, which is a 2.7% increase. That's good news. It's higher than the federal minimum wage, which is $7.25. And then the last thing I wanted to share was, I guess we consider ourselves lucky. In Fort Collins, most rental properties have to be registered now. We don't do that. Okay. I just thought it was interesting because they are getting way in there. They want all their rental properties to be registered and because they want to make sure that they're maintained, et cetera. So anyway, that's my report. Thank you.
Thanks for all the good news, Terry.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, Mayor, I forgot. I forgot one item.
Sure.
Join us December 7th through and 8th for the holiday home tour. Let's see, there's a silent auction, but it's December 7th and 8th this weekend from 5 to 10, 5 to 5. Yeah. Oh, 10 to 5 p.m. Sorry. I knew I was going to botch that. Sorry.
And where are the tickets?
And the breakfast with Santa and the tickets, I'm assuming, are at Tweeds for the holiday home tour. Yes. Breakfast with Santa on Saturday at the UPCC. At the UPCC.
And I bet the bar's not open.
And I bet the bar is not open. Okay, now I'm done.
All right, so just a few more events from Parks and Rec. So first off, parent/grandparent and child wooden gingerbread house decorating is on Saturday, December 14th from 10 a.m. to noon at the Art Cabin. Ladies' night out for the wooden gingerbread house decorating will be Friday, December 13th from 6 to 8 p.m. also at the Art Cabin. Seasonal scented candle class will be Wednesday, December 18th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. also at the Art Cabin. Parents' night out Friday, December 20th, 6 to 10 p.m. at the Woodland Aquatic Center. And lastly, Skate with Santa at the Meadowwood Sports Complex Skating Rink, Sunday, December 22nd from 6 to 8:30 p.m. And other than that, hope everyone has a wonderful holiday.
Will the bar be open at the Aquatic Center for Parents' Night Out? That's a negative. Thank you.
It's a negative.
I don't have anything to report from the Keep Woodland Park Beautiful Committee. But I did want to thank the council for approving the resolution to reestablish our partnership with, the Engineer Battalion. As the Lieutenant Colonel mentioned, it is 1,000-person, battalion, nearly 1,000-person
And
battalion.
they're all marching in the parade.
I think so.
That's what they
Maybe, who
committed to.
knows? They said they were also bringing candy. But the size of the unit is less important than the fact that it represents all of our military community. I think many of us know that a demographic I have not been able to validate, but I've heard mentioned over and over and over, is that over a quarter of the population of Teller County is either a veteran or retiree or on active duty. So we have a very large military presence in the community, and we have a lot of services to offer for that community. And we have a terrific veteran service officer who's got an office right here in town. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to go to Cripple Creek to see her. She's over at Tamarack Center. But I hope that this relationship will help those that have not been exposed to the military before realize that there are a lot of young men and women in that unit, and we are their touch point for being away from home. And I'm excited about having participants in the parade, and I know we'll have other events during the year that will have those young men and women here. So again, thank you for approving that resolution.
Thank you for writing it.
Yeah.
That was a marathon read. But it was very nice. George?
Unfortunately, I have nothing to report. The DDA tried to meet, but we didn't reach quorum on Tuesday, so no business was conducted.
Do you have any vacancies on the board?
I don't believe so.
Yeah,
Okay.
it doesn't
I don't
feel
believe
like
so.
it, but
Okay,
We just had several absences.
okay, no worries. Thank you.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Steve.
Yeah, actually, I actually have something to say.
Oh, good.
Especially, happy holidays and all religions and faiths and such to everybody out there, but also at this time of the year, tonight seems like a really big service night for our military. There's going to be a lot of families out there where a mother or a father or even both are going to be gone. So if you have the opportunity to help or invite, any of those families out there to a Christmas dinner or a fun day or whatever, really do so. When I was coaching for over 20 years, I dealt a lot with the 10th for Fort Carson. And, we always made sure when those, predominantly the fathers, were deployed, that all those families didn't feel that loss for that day. And I myself always had, families over for dinner and, everything else, but also keep those in mind. And not only, our public servants, our fire department, our EMTs, hospital doctors, everybody else, keep those, those people in mind also. Now, going back to the Madrigals, if you haven't seen the Madrigals or even been to Madrigals, performance or dinner, take the opportunity to do so. I had two of my sons that were in Madrigals. I had over 36 athletes that were Madrigals. And I had been to 20 of the dinners. Keep those in mind. Mr. Hemmingson has continued the quality that Mort Dixon started, over 30 years ago. So if you haven't had the chance to do so, try your best to go over. And it also helps support their, supports the Madrigals in funding. So, keep that in mind. If you can do it, do it. Outside of that, hey, happy holidays.
Thank you, Steve. City Attorney.
I have nothing other than Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and Happy New Year, and it's wonderful working with you all.
Thank you. Staff, Aaron?
All right. First, I'd like to remind everyone not to forget about Citizens Academy. We've had 16 applications so far, so we definitely will be having it. But we still have 9 more spots. So if anyone's interested in signing up, please do so by December 20th. Time is running out, but we do want to fill that up. As far as the budget goes, I sincerely thank you all for this process and for helping us to get this passed. So we have marching orders for next year. We're ready to get started, start issuing those POs and getting to work. So thank you very much for that. Kip, can I put you on the spot for a second? I believe Lake is going to be reopening fully soon, but I want to confirm that with Kip. I do want to thank the community for their patience as we've been working through these projects. Kip and his team have been working extremely hard to get these things done.
It better be open tomorrow, yes.
All right, so you heard it.
It was really nice when I drove over on it today, so.
It's obviously drivable. They're just finishing up some last minute asphalt driveway aprons before they hopefully reopen it before the parade tomorrow or on
Of course,
Saturday.
he did make an illegal turn in order to do that.
Yes, I did
On the
ignore
middle
the no
lane.
left turn sign from 67, so my apologies.
Along with the rest of town, it's okay. So,
Now where to go write tickets.
so very excited for that and they've been working hard. Thank you. I'll echo Aaron's comments. The patience of the residents in those areas has been amazing.
Good job.
Yeah.
It'll be
great job,
worth it.
Kip.
It'll be worth it. Thank you,
Um,
Kip.
Mayor, I think for Jeff and Steve, we have a door prize for them when they,
Oh, okay.
be a nice piece of paper. A little.
Do you want us to keep the meeting open for that or? Right. Anything else, Aaron?
No, thank you all very
All
much.
right. Merry Christmas, council, and everyone else in the audience. We're adjourned.
By the way, I saw.